Good evening, I am Teddy Mparinyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and our account on X, TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan calls on all the Africans hiring judges from 16 countries of the Southern and East Africa to consolidate courts in their respective countries so as to increase their capacity in conflict resolutions in the free trade area in Africa. She was opening the 2023 Southern and Eastern African Chief Justices Forum in Arusha. Here's a report by Sechelela Kongola, read by Faidangaga.
The advancement of technology and innovation is one of the things that may cause conflicts in society when not well handled, so legal institutions should position themselves to resolve such conflicts when they occur.
I believe that you will find it a pertinent avenue for discussions regarding how best the nexus between national judiciaries and the African Continental Free Trade Area dispute settlement mechanism can be tailored, shaped, and aligned throughout the continent for the attainment of our greater Agenda 2063 vision of the African we want.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan emphasizes the importance of application of modern technology in courts during hearing and in resolving commercial disputes.
That as prominent legal minds of this region or regional economic bloc, you will as well set aside some minutes in your discussion to consider how the African Continental Free Trade Dispute Resolution Body can deploy modern technologies to efficiently, accessibly, and transparently enhance its role of dispensing interstate trade-related justice so as to deepen the inter-African trade relations.
Judge Peter Shivute from Namibia, who is also the chairman of the forum, says there is a great need for the judges to continue cooperation to overcome some of the challenges.
To the uninitiated, it means coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I hope I've translated it correctly.
On the other hand, the Chief Justice of Tanzania, Professor Ibrahim Juma, says the forum will help the Chief Justices to make decisions regarding the various issues facing the African people with consensus.
In Namibia as well, where we discussed the prevention of corruption in the judiciary. In 2018, we met in Lilongwe, Malawi, where we discussed how to strengthen our judiciary to make us independent, accountable, while remaining without fear or favor.
The 5-day forum will be concluded with judges visiting various tourist attractions in the Arusha region and the neighboring areas to see for themselves the beauty of nature in Tanzania.
Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango says the government acknowledges bilateral ties between Tanzania and Qatar and remains committed to strengthen cooperation for both countries' interests. Here are more details.
The Vice President made the remarks when he met and held talks with the Ambassador of Qatar in Tanzania, Fahad Rashid Al-Malik, at the State House in Dodoma, stressing health, oil research, gas and trade sectors to be areas positioned to be explored.
I would wish to see more cooperation in sectors that help us deal with adverse effects of climate change. So, for example, currently we are working hard to see if we can move a lot of our people from using firewood for cooking, and gradually, of course, to see if we can gradually move away from fossil fuels and go more into renewable energies.
Furthermore, Dr. Mpango welcomes Qatar to invest in medical device manufacturing as well as in technologies to deal with the climate change.
We would like to have more trade with the state of Qatar, more investments also, and there are many sectors, I think, where we can cooperate, and particularly in the area of oil and gas. And I know Qatar is very strong on the gas sector, So I'm quite sure Tanzania stands to benefit a lot cooperating in this area. But the entire petrochemical industry, pharmaceuticals, we still import a lot of medicines from outside. So this is one sure area where investments from Qatar will be more than welcome.
On the other hand, the ambassador of Qatar to Tanzania, Fahad Rashid Al-Mahik, vows to work with the government of Tanzania and increase cooperation.
وأكبر دليل الزيارات المتبادلة بين الجانبين فخامة الرئيس زار قطر أكثر من مرة.
The relationship between Qatar and the United Republic of Tanzania is strengthened, and the visit of Her Excellency Dr. Samir Suluhu to Qatar, which is represent the strengthening of the relationships, and we will work together in order to elevate this relationship.
Deputy Minister of Minerals Dr. Stephen Kiruswa says the mining sector contributes 9.1% to the national GDP and is one of the fastest growing sector in the country, growing at the rate of 10% per year, contributing 56% of the national total exports in 2022-2023. The Deputy Minister made the remarks on the 6th annual contractors meeting aimed at strengthening partnership for responsible management of seabed mineral resources and is expected to end on the October 26, 2023. Here more details.
Deputy Minister of Minerals Dr. Stephen Kiruswa says the government is committed to adhere to approved mitigation measures so as to ensure environmental conservation.
The mitigation plans will be built upon once you know what you have, and you do the SWOT analysis. We have to do the SWOT analysis to know what are the strengths, what are the opportunities, what are the weaknesses, and what are the ways to mitigate. So far, much as not much yet. Since the resource is just there to be picked, not to be mined, the only disturbance we can see if they will stir the water and maybe bring the debris into the mix it with the water resources and maybe disturb the fishes in the water. Those are the things we are yet to be able to mitigate after we know what the regulations they are putting in place brings to the table.
On the other hand, Dr. Marie Borrell, Chief of Staff and Head of Strategic Planning Unit at International Seabed Authority, says it is crucial for Tanzania to share the knowledge and expertise in other key issues with the contractors regarding mining industry in this critical stage of negotiation of the mining code.
This dialogue aims at creating the synergies to really establish bridges, and so then all the key stakeholders can learn from each other and can work together towards something that is going to be reflective of the best industry practice, but at the same time establish a regulatory framework that is good for the industry, but also that ensure the maximum level of protection for the environment. And Tanzania has a really important role to play in that regard.
Furthermore, John Mataro, who is a geologist from the Mining Commission, says the minerals has increased contribution to the socio-economic development here in Tanzania.
Transforming from fossil fuel to green energy, so it has increased the demand of these minerals because they are very rare, they are very critical. And most of these minerals are found in a seabed of the ocean. We need to develop ourselves in terms of capacity building. We have to ensure that we have people, right people, to participate fully to the exploration activities, and eventually, if the negotiation has been adopted, then exploitation.
The meeting involved Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the United Republic of Tanzania to United Nations, Commissioner of Minerals, heads of government institutions, and contractors responsible for seabed exploration. Reporting in Dar es Salaam, Tanessa Limo, TBC News.
Earlier this year, Tanzania signed 3 memorandum of understanding with Namibia, which upon implementation will boost trade and economic ties between the two nations. Speaking after presenting his credentials to the President of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Hage Geingob, Ambassador of Tanzania in Namibia, Caesar Waitara, insisted it is time for the two nations to establish even closer ties.
Well, I've just said that it was this February 2023 that Tanzania and Namibia signed several memoranda of understanding, one of them being a memorandum of understanding on trade. As you know, Tanzania and Namibia have been enjoying cordial bilateral relations for a long time, since the time of struggling for the independence of this great nation. So as you know, the struggle is over. Right now, what we have to embark on is to enhance our economic cooperation. So by having that MOU in place, it will enable to boost the trade between our two great nations.
Furthermore, Ambassador Waitara said the two countries can strengthen its energy sector by exchanging experiences and better work methods, stressing the need for scaling up mutually advantageous contracts.
Discovered oil just a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken, and as Tanzania there, we have discovered a lot of gas some years ago. I think this is the area whereby we can cooperate in terms of exchanging experience on how to deal with these resources together. I think the most important thing is the contract, of how to deal with the contract, because as you see, we are emerging, I would say, countries with this kind of resources. So we have to be very smart in terms of dealing with these kind of contracts so that they become beneficial to us.
The credential presentation took place at the State House in Windhoek, Namibia. And on to the next news. The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, Labor, Youth, Employment and Persons with Disabilities, Professor Joyce Ndalichako, has instructed employment service providers both inside and outside of the nation to abide by labor laws and regulations. She made the remarks in a meeting with employment service agencies in Dar es Salaam, insisting the agencies have a critical role to make the government realize its goal of creating 8 million jobs by 2025. Rahema Salabili was there and has prepared the following report.
It is a meeting involving employment services agencies, Minister's Office, Labor, Youth, Employment and Persons with Disabilities, as well as Tanzanian ambassadors assigned to various countries. Professor Ndalichako says her office will not tolerate seeing Tanzanians who go to work abroad being harassed, while also warning local outsourcing companies that the government will also not tolerate any agencies that deduct employee salaries at the commission.
Kumekuwa na malalamiko mengi ukienda.
There have been many complaints, especially if you go to the industrial areas. If you go to many employees, the complaints you get are mainly from the agents. The ones that are directly employed by the industry or factory owners have lesser complaints and mostly no complaints at all. But those with outsourcing contracts have problems. There are times the outsourced employees fail to contribute to the Social Security Fund of other employees, forgetting that it is their right according to the law. Worse enough, some of the workers do not even have contracts.
One of the agendas is to ensure that the coordination of sending Tanzanians abroad is well coordinated. I assure you, Honorable Minister, that my office will deal with all the answered questions, including any type of bureaucracy and challenges in terms of licensing.
On the part, some agents commend the government for the initiatives to create a good environment for the agencies, while urging to take care of some of the challenges that hinder the sector.
There are some agents who go further than just being an agent in connecting an employer to an employee and starting to actually being an employer in terms of starting to take a percentage commission. As agents, and that's also the other thing that we're here, is to a reminder of where our responsibility starts, where it ends, and if the commission or the task is to actually just connect, then that is what it should be.
You know, the government has taken the initiative rather than all the stakeholders going over there, because they also realize that a lot of Tanzanian people, talented people, there's a huge talent over here, and they are not getting a voice to be heard out or something. And when they support the agencies like us, we get more empower, and then we'll be able to do more, and we'll make sure that we'll try our best to get them.
We face in the sector is the organizational structure of the government, whereby there is TAESA, there is migration. Okay, the process is not properly coordinated. But you can recruit people, then at the airport they are denied to exit, that they have not received documents from TAESA office.
Yeah, a total of 56 employment services agents companies have been registered compared to 83 companies registered last year. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rohima Sabili, TBC News.
Tanzanian scientists and stakeholders in technological innovation have been urged to use scientific inventions to solve societal challenges and eventually perpetuate sustainable development. Speaking at the Russia-Tanzania Robotics Forum, Professor Aldin Mutembei from the University of Dar es Salaam says Tanzania can leverage robotics technology on automation in agriculture such that it can address the challenge of climate change and inefficient farming practices. He says it's good for young scientists to adapt new foreign technology, but it should always be localized to the Tanzania context and address real Tanzanian challenges.
Implementation of robotics in agriculture can address various challenges such as labor shortages, inefficient farming practices, and climate change. Fortunately, in Tanzania, most of the land in Tanzania are arable land, very fertile. With a sufficient knowledge in robotics, we would develop our agriculture industry and build food security.
The Russian ambassador to Tanzania, Andrei Avetisyan, says the forum is yet another symbol of strong bilateral ties between Tanzania and Russia in the technological sector, and he assures young Tanzanian scientists of Russia's support in the sector, while one of the participants of the forum, Raymond Luanda, who has been training young Tanzanian scientists, expresses the progress that he sees from the young scientists and their prospects.
Our friendship and interaction is expanding to new areas, to new things like cooperation in space, like cooperation in information security.
We've been able to work with 15 regions here in Tanzania where we have coding clubs. So we have a network of students who are learning weekly coding skills, and they are able to solve problems.
The forum aims to empower, among others, students of technical universities and colleges in Tanzania. Ambassador Noel Kaganda calls on Tanzanians and various stakeholders to attend the celebration of the United Nations Day, which is expected to be held tomorrow, 24th October 2023, at Karimjee grounds in Dar es Salaam. Ambassador Kaganda was addressing journalists in Dar es Salaam, explaining how the government of Tanzania participates in achieving the goals of the United Nations through various projects, including peacekeeping and human rights.
We have supported the agenda of the United Nations in promoting international peace and security. We've sent troops to UN peacekeeping missions around the African continent and outside of the African continent, but also in the areas of human rights and its promotion. Tanzania, you will recall, is party to several human rights conventions and treaties. We also enshrined the Universal Declaration on Human Rights in the Charter, in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United Republic of Tanzania.
On the other hand, United Nations Resident Coordinator Zlatan Milisk elaborates how the theme of the 78th anniversary of the United Nations Day reflects the real life of the community and vows to continue to cooperate with the Tanzanian government in various development issues.
For this year's United Nations Day is investing in tomorrow today, leveraging Tanzania's young population. This theme actually emphasizes the critical role that Tanzania's youth play in shaping the nation's future, but also present. And also it underscores the importance on focusing for all of us on essential areas such as health, education, and social protection.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled by Gania Jumbe and read by Kanki Magomole.
Health officials in the Gaza Strip have said more than 400 people have been killed in the last 24 hours as Israeli airstrikes continue. Israel says it is targeting the infrastructure of the Hamas militia. Israel has also launched a few ground attacks in Gaza to get information about hostages being held. More than 1,400 Israelis have been killed since October the 7th when Hamas militants attacked Israel. The Ministry of Health of Gaza has said that the number of Palestinians who have died since the beginning of the crisis has reached more than 5,000. In another step, aid trucks carrying food, water and medical supplies have continued to enter the Gaza Strip from Egypt since the opening of the Rafah border at the end of the week. Argentina is heading to the second round of voting between the Minister of Economy, Sergio Massa, and the defender of extreme right-wing politics, Javier Milei, in the country's presidential election. The citizens of Argentina will choose between the two candidates in the second round of the elections to be held on the 19th of next month, with the winner taking office on December the 10th. When many votes were counted in the first round of the elections held yesterday, no candidate got more than 45% of the votes that will enable him to enter power. The Sunday elections witnessed a 74% turnout.
That was international news. Sports news up next. In sports news, Simba Sports Club head coach Roberto Oliveira says he will make tactical changes in his squad against Al Ahly, aiming at winning the second away leg match in Cairo, Egypt tomorrow and the cruise to the semi-finals of African Football League. Coach Robert insists he will make changes in key positions to strengthen the squad as the team targets to score 8 goals against the African champion Al Ahly.
We believe in your capacity. The football for me is art. I cannot talk before game, but I give fluency for talk inside the pitch about the our performance. This will be my objective tomorrow.
Simba plays Al Ahly tomorrow in Cairo, Egypt on the African Football League match after drawing 2 goals each in the inaugural match held at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium last Friday. Sports Office of the Tanzania Sports Council, Charles Mzungu, says that Kilimanjaro Marathon 2024 will be used to promote sports tourism in the country. Introducing the race in Dar es Salaam, Mzungu says participants from different countries will participate in the race, expecting to attract more tourists in the future.
The
race will bring more participants from different countries, and when they return home, they will not talk on a race, but tourist attractions found in the country, and that will bring more tourists in Tanzania.
Kilimanjaro Marathon will take place on the 25th of February 2024 in Kilimanjaro region as more than 5,000 people are expected to participate in the race. That is sports news, and tonight we won't have weather update. On behalf of the whole team, I wish you a lovely, lovely night. I'm Teddy Nyanka.
TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.
Hujambo mtazamaji na karibu katika mfululizo wa vipindi vyetu. Leo nitakutambulisha jinsi mfumo wa stakabadhi za ghala ulivyogeuka kuwa mkombozi wa uhakika wa masoko ya bidhaa za wakulima na namna mfumo huo ulivyorahisishia serikali ukusanyaji wa mapato ya ushuru wa mazao